You can blame it all on me. I was wrong. I never meant to hurt you. Baby, you can blame it all on me. I was wrong. Pretty sure I just sang that part wrong, but hello there, ladies and gentle nerds. Caveman Grunting podcast back with attempt number 2 of episode number 2. No idea what happened yesterday. No idea whatsoever. But I'm gonna do it again. I did the for those of you that saw the game trailer reaction, so I won't be doing that again. Chef Boy is cute here, and yeah, so I did the video game reaction yesterday. If you saw that, you saw that. If you didn't, oh well, I'm not doing it twice. But today, I do have for you my Ironheart review. I did watch all 3 episodes last night. I'm going to try to give you my anime review again. Hopefully this stream makes it all the way to that. And the other things I had yesterday, well, I'll just get to them when I get to them. So, Ironheart review. So this one, like I said, I watched all 3 episodes last night. I did not expect it to be good at all, because you know how Marvel's been with their last few series. Except Agatha all along was I couldn't get with it for real. I mean, it had its moments, but you know, this one here though. Well, this way. Ironheart. All 3 episodes last night. The first episode was kind of convoluted to me, but I did like it. You know, she got kicked out of, well, spoiler warning. There's spoilers all over this for the first 3 episodes. So if you have not seen it, stop right now and go watch all 3, because I'm going to be talking about all 3 in the next 10-15 minutes. So, episode 1, she gets kicked out of MIT. And I mean, I guess by the letter of whatever law that the school was going by, she was wrong. She gets kicked out because she was selling projects to other students at other schools so she could earn money. I respect the hustle. But you know how the American college system is. Don't make no money outside of us. What you doing? But these football and basketball players just got the ability to make their own money. Don't you try it somewhere else. So that's why she gets kicked out. She quote unquote steals the suit from the school, even though she's the one that made it and the school has 0 rights to it. They locked her out of the AI for it. So she flies the suit all the way back to Chicago. And there we learn the sad part, because it starts off with her friend, and I don't know if it was in the first episode or the second episode. It got a couple little tears out of me. I didn't cry. My eyes welled up. Man, shit. But her best friend and stepfather die. And yeah, in the same incident too. So, and that was kind of like, dang, that's where we're going with this. So that's how it starts out. She goes to a pick and pull, trying to get pieces and parts so she can remake her suit. And that's when the Hood's people step in and pretty much buy her time, for lack of a better term. So what does she do? She joins them, of course. I was like, yeah, no, this is already sketchy. You don't know, bruh. And he stepped right in to pay for your stuff at the pick and pull. Ha. Red flag number 1. But, you know, greed defeats a lot of people. Greed defeats everybody. Not everybody, just a good amount of people. And so she sets out to do whatever mission it was that they wanted her to do. Steal some tech from this big tech company called Tunnel. Now, my first issue with that was I thought it was completely stupid for them. I thought it was completely stupid for him to need her to be in that iron suit for the first job, because I was like, well, okay, make it make sense. So you need the iron suit for a job in Chicago. Half of Chicago knows who Riri is. That's one problem. The other half of Chicago saw her fly in the iron suit and crash land. Okay, so why would you use something so conspicuous? Why would you use something so conspicuous for that mission? I don't know. I have no idea. Everybody in Chicago knows that there's only one person making iron suits, and they know who that is. So why would you have her reveal herself like that? Kind of dumb to me. Episode 1, we do have a feature from Eric Andre, and I found it hilarious because I kind of knew that they was gonna get rid of him in the first episode. We could afford Eric Andre for one episode, huh? Like, yeah, no, that guy's fucking up the budget. Nah, get him out one episode, and he wasn't even in the episode a lot. So, the main villain of, I don't know if he's the main villain, because there's gonna be two villains, and I'll get to that part in a little bit. But the main villain of the main villain of Ironheart is somewhat of a little known villain named the Hood. Yes, the Hood. So his comic book origin starts in 2002. He, of course, is a Marvel villain, and how he gets his powers, they hint at it in the show, is, he's in the midst of doing some crimes with his cousin, and I don't know if it's his cousin or his best friend, whoever it is, in the midst of committing some crime, they stumble upon an abandoned ritual. He ends up shooting and killing a Nasanti demon and taking its hood and boots. The hood, which grants him invisibility when he holds his breath, and you can kind of hear that in the show. When he exhales, he goes, you kind of hear the in the background, and then he appears. The boots grant levitation. I don't know if they gave him the boots in the show. He eventually becomes a leader of a crime syndicate, and so I think this is where we get the Mephisto ties in the show, because Sacha Baron Cohen is cast as Mephisto in this show. I'm not sure if that's still the fact of the matter, but Sacha Baron Cohen is supposed to play Mephisto in this show, and this is how they're going to tie him in through the Hood. So, because she's locked out of her AI, she accidentally creates her best friend, her dead best friend, she accidentally recreates her dead best friend in an AI. Her best friend's name is Natalie, and I thought it was very clever how, I don't even remember the words she said, but she technologically acronymed the name Natalie, which was friggin' genius to me. I wonder how long it took them to come up with that. Episode 2, I believe it is, she meets a guy she calls Joe, who, and I like this reveal because in episode 3, Joe, the person that she gets the rest of her tech from Joe buys stuff off the black market, and he has parts that she wants for her suit. So the reveal in the 3rd episode is, and I'm telling you, oh, okay, that's who that is. So Joe turns out to be the son of Obadiah Stane. I was like, oh wow, what hey, who saw that one coming? Put that in the comments. Who saw Ezekiel Stane coming in this one? And at that moment, I was like, oh, she's gonna have 2 villains. And then it gets sealed in episode 3 where she botches a job. And I felt like this was a great way to do the we create our own villains thing, because the tech that she gets for the job, or what she's trying to do during the job, she gets from Ezekiel Stane, and the last thing he tells her is, don't let this blow back on me. Please don't let this blow back on me. I'm helping you. So She drops the tech during the mission. All the greenhouses are getting closed off, and all the greenhouses getting closed off and getting filled with CO2. So like majority of the team is going down and out. The AI in the suit pilots the suit, saves the other part of the team while she's fighting the Hood's cousin or best friend, whatever he is. So she gets rescued by her suit and leaves bro to suffocate in the CO2 chamber. That was cold blooded. And the first thing I said was, "Don't leave, bro. Don't leave, bro. Come on now. Don't do that." So she leaves bro. Bro dies of suffocation, and in that way, she becomes the Hood becomes her villain. And because she left that tech, Ezekiel Stain is now going to be a villain. And damn, Mephisto's in it too. So that's 3 villains for this show. I like where it's going. I really do. That was a great way to do that. And this is where I pose my moral question, because she doesn't necessarily kill bro, but she totally could have saved him, and she didn't. So my moral question to my fellow Nerd Mafia is letting someone die through your inaction considered a murder? Is it? And I'll pose it to you in a different way. So imagine, let's say, I don't know, you finna get on BART or something, and a kid falls into the tracks. Now this kid is tall enough to reach up and tall enough to reach their hand up, but they can't climb up themselves. You're standing right there and you can save the kid, but you freeze up and you don't. Is it your fault that that kid died? Me personally, I would feel guilty. I froze up. I could have saved the kid. I didn't. I would feel guilty. Now, if somebody tried to convict me of criminal negligence or murder for that, I would be upset, because I was gonna have to risk my life and limb too. Is it your fault that the kid died? Is it her fault that bro died because she didn't save him and had every opportunity to save him? Yeah. Just my little moral question for you. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to what I tried to get to yesterday, but it got cut off. Another piece of Marvel business. I probably should skip over this one today, but I'm going to gloss over it. Respect the Falcon. Or don't. I don't care. I didn't think the movie was that great. Too much going on. He bounces from place to place in the United States with nary a cutscene. It's just all in one day, it looks like. And they had 3 different villains in this too. I don't know why you sold the Red Hood. Not the Red Hood. Goodness. I don't know why you sold out Red Hulk like that. This is a character that a lot of people were waiting on, and the Red Hulk was in the movie for like 5 minutes. So I don't know why you wasted all of the Red Hulk footage in your trailers. I don't know why you did that. You also wasted a very expensive actor, Giancarlo Esposito. Gus from Breaking Bad, if you don't know who that is, if you've seen Breaking Bad, he's Gus from Breaking Bad. He's like a C villain. I don't even remember his name. Sidewinder? Something that has to do with snakes. I don't know. But you kind of wasted him. That's a very expensive actor to waste. And the leader, can we do one or the other, please? And I'm kind of tired of Marvel one-offing villains. Like by the end of the movie, Thunderbolt Ross, Red Hulk, he's in the raft, so we're not gonna be seeing him. The leader surrenders. He's probably in a different part of the raft. We won't be seeing him again. And Sidewinder, I think his name is, he's in a black military facility. So none of these guys are coming back. Marvel, stop one-offing your villains. You do that with every one of them. You did it with there's a lot of Reds. You did it with the Red Skull, one-offed him. Who else with it? Obadiah Stane, one-offed him. Who else? Hela, which I thought was egregious. The goddess of death. Hella. One off. Can we stop doing this? It's old hack now. It's old hack. So this movie was kind of meh to me. You could have done a lot more. You could have done a lot more, but you decided not to because you wanted to rush this movie out because I feel like even Marvel didn't believe in this movie. So you rushed it and one off every one of your villains. Um, Moving on because I have to speed through these and get to what I really want to get to. What I watched recently, finished up recently. This, whatever this is not what I'm talking about, though that looks kind of interesting. But Delicious in Dungeon. Quirky little anime. I like it because my name is Chef Boy. He's cute for a reason. I am a chef. I am a damn good chef. And my boy Sir D's put me on to this one. Shout out Sir D's. I like this anime specifically for the cooking. The homie right here, his sister gets eaten by this dragon here. And so he goes back to the top of the dungeon, recruits a team, this elfin fellow right here, and he meets her along the way. He recruits the team to go back down into the dungeon because he wants to kill the dragon and save his sister. And along the way, he meets this dwarf fellow right here. This dwarf right here. And this dwarf goes about teaching him how to survive in the dungeon via eating the dungeon creatures. And boy, I tell you, I don't know how they make anime food look so good, but he made those monsters look delicious. And a couple of those recipes are things that you can actually do in the kitchen because I've done them. Not with some mystical beast, of course, but with different meats. Yes, I've done a couple of the things that he does in this anime, and I found it very interesting that they found a way to put cooking tutorials into an anime. That was genius for me. You know I'm gonna rank these, so there's no stakes in it. You know I like my anime with emotional gravitas, but this gets a solid 5 out of me. 5 out of 10 for me. Moving on. Jujutsu Kaisen. I did watch season 2 earlier this year. I kind of get what people are talking about the power scaling being off. It does make it very confusing, and it's kind of like One Punch where you don't care a lot for what's going on if Sukuna and Yuti or Gojo, if it's not in the plot for that episode, you kind of find it like, where my boys at? You know? I feel like they waste their side characters much like Naruto does. Because, the animation is great. The fight scenes, A+, but you wasting your side characters for real. They don't explain, and this is more of what I hear from the anime community, they don't really explain how curse magic works for real, and it's kind of, but it is a good ride. It is a good anime. So Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm not going to go all the way in depth about it because I'm sure majority of you have already seen season 1, 0, and season 2. So I'm not going to go all the way into it. They left us on a cliffhanger because now I'm like, what now that Gojo's gone? You've made it painstakingly obvious that if Sukuna is released, nobody can stop anything at all. And the other cursed spirits, the most powerful ones, you've also made it painstakingly obvious that nobody can take them except for Gojo or Yuti. But even Yuti is getting whooped by the cursed spirit that you shouldn't be able to touch, even though they touch him. I don't get it, but whatever. Jujutsu Kaisen, just season 2. I'm gonna give season 2. They said 8.5. They're kind of on it. I'm gonna give season 2 an 8. The story left a lot to be desired. It really did. But, you know, the fight scenes are freaking amazing. One of those might be on the Multi Voices most one-sided beatdowns. But I don't know how I feel about putting a black man getting beat up like that back out on the internet, and they already did it. So, moving right along. An anime that triggered me. I swear the first 2 episodes triggered me. The Rising of the Shield Hero. Boy, it's been so long that I've seen this, so I don't remember Homeboy's first name. But this anime triggered me because the very first episode, mine, who later becomes known as Bitch, she accuses this fella of rape and theft. Even though he don't got none of his stuff, and he tells everybody he ain't got none of his stuff, but I guess she has like some spell going on where people just believe what she say. So, little backstory, if you haven't seen this one and you want to watch it, I won't spoil everything, but this is an isekai or isekai anime where he is transported to this world through a book, and he is one of 4 cardinal heroes. He is the shield. There is also a sword, a spear, and the bow. So they're all 4 of them are transferred into this book through magical means. And as you see there, they have AI and everything that they can see. But these creatures in this world, these people in this world don't have this ability. So he gets transferred there through some book, and he's supposed to stop. What is it called? He's some great, again, it's been a while since I've seen it, and I'm just catching y'all up on what I've seen. He is supposed to stop this great calamity right here on the screen. So he sets out about that with his spear. The little squirrel girl right here, or raccoon chick, whatever you want to call her, she pretty much is his sword to his shield. Because the shield doesn't allow him to pick up other weapons. He can only use what the shield gives him. But the shield gives him a dope skills tree. And he eventually becomes a traveling salesman. Get dough on the road. Crafty fella, crafty fella. The Rising of the Shield Hero. I am going to give that a 6. A 6. Nobody's really in peril except for the characters that we don't care about. Please stop doing this with the anime. Let us care for somebody and then they die. Maybe I need to watch different animes because these are just I guess these are just the top ones that I've been told about. So 7 out of 10 from me from the Rising of the Shield Hero. And lastly but not leastly, Kaiju number 8. This one, I wasn't expecting it. Like, I was expecting him to start off as the Kaiju and then they back explain how he came into it. No, they don't do that. Homie right here starts out as the cleanup crew. Yeah, starts out as the cleanup crew. Let me hit this trailer real quick. So what happens is these giant kaiju are being released throughout the city, and some team takes them out. Again, terrible memory with this because again it's been a couple months since I've seen it. They kill the kaiju. He comes in as a cleanup crew, bisects the creature, and cleans up all the poo and whatnot, the poo and the guts. So eventually, let's see if I can mute this. There we go. Eventually, he gets possessed, for lack of a better word, by, it's gonna show it. Yeah, gets chased around by that, and eventually gets possessed by an unknown kaiju. And he becomes Kaiju number 8. Yeah, they're numbered by what they've seen and what they haven't seen, or the kinds they've seen and the kinds they haven't seen. So he becomes Kaiju number 8. And at that point, after he gets possessed by that little creepy bug right there, he becomes OP. But he does have to train himself up to it and hide the fact that he has this ability because, of course, if they find him out, the government is going to do something with him. And we all know what that means. So, again, I'm not going to spoil everything for you, but Kaiju number 8, I will give a 8 out of 10. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. They left it on a cliffhanger. I do kind of wish that they extended that season and kept it going, but you got to keep people wanting and waiting. I get it. 8 out of 10 from me. And with that, I move on to what I am currently reading. So, firstly, of course, you know, I'm a Bat fan, and I gotta brush up on my stuff. That's the wrong one. Sorry, I'll get to that after it. This right here is what I'm reading: Red Hood Outlaws. Now, in this run, he befriends Artemis, another Amazonian, and Bizarro Superman, who eventually in this comic book run becomes actually pretty freaking genius. So, just a little backstory on this comic book run. This is the part that I left off on. Well, a couple issues after this is where I left off on, but this is the best part. So we all know Red Hood, discovered by Batman, taking the wheels off the Batmobile. Eventually, blah, he quote unquote kills a guy, pushes him off a building. And that, you should go watch that video I did that one time back in 1988 when fans voted. Yes, the fans voted for Jason Todd to die. Now, they didn't vote on the way he would die, but the fans were split because they didn't like this new Robin. He was a douchebag and all whatnot. But yes, fans voted in 1988 to kill Robin. And that resulted in one of the most iconic moments in comic book history, and one that I affectionately named Me, You, and the Crowbar. Joker beats the hell out of him with a crowbar and then blows him up. So, fast forward, dip in the Lazarus pit, and you get Red Hood. So, why is he mad at Penguin right here? Well, turns out that Jason Todd's father used to work for the Penguin. His mother is already deceased. Jason Todd's father used to work for the Penguin, and the Penguin set him up with a bad gig, got him killed. It was all Penguin's fault because I guess I forget this part, but it's the Penguin's fault that he is sent to an orphanage with a terrible lady, and you know, bad childhood, orphanage, all because of the Penguin. And so now he finds all of that out, right? The Penguin killed his dad. I don't know why this keeps doing that. Penguin killed his dad. He finds all of that out, and of course, being the bad man that he is, he goes and confronts Penguin during a different skirmish. So, what you see here is him confronting Penguin, and Penguin just not caring at all. Ha! Don't care. And then he mocks him because at this moment he threw away he said, and he says it, at this moment he threw away his secret identity and Batman's too by association. Red Hood don't care. And he said you did it for less than a nobody, which is his father. And he's trying to call a bluff right here. End of the day, you're just a kid playing dress up. So the police try to stop it. They get in there, they get involved. Put the gun down, Red Hood. The Penguin's like, relax, officers. He's just a bat brat. He's not really finna do it. Red Hood put that gun to his eye and says, let me tell you something. I'm my father's son. Good on you, kid. Bow! In the face.
In his face! Yes, in the face!
And then rides off on a police motorcycle. I got like this run I'm really interested in, and I am actually like invested in what happens with Bizarro Superman because they give him his intelligence in this run just to slowly take it away from him. And he's so intelligent that he can feel his intelligence leaving, and he's trying to do everything to stop it, but he just cannot. So, moving on from that to another run that I'm reading. I try to do my origin comics so I can be knowledgeable about what I tell you people on the internet. I don't want to be a complete dork. I mean, of course, there are people that know better than me about these things, but This right here, Lobo, the Last Zarnian. And again, this is another video that I've done before. If you want a quick synopsis of it, go back and check out that video. But for those of you that want to hear me talk about it again, sit right here. I'm going to give it to you. Lobo is the last Zarnian by his own creation. And in this comic, this is after the New 52 because he had a different origin before. But in this one here, I think he's about 14 years old, 17, something. So Zarnia was one of the universe's utopias, probably the only utopia, and they enjoyed eons and eons of peace. Nobody fought. There were no wars. Nobody so much as raised their voice at one another. And then Lobo was born. And Lobo was believed to be the counterpoint of eons and eons of utopianness? Utopianness? No, not that one, not that one. Eons and eons of peace. And he is believed to be a concentrated counterpoint to it. So, how does Zarnia get taken out? What happens to Zarnia? Why is he the last Zarnian? Well, ladies and gentlemen of the Nerd Mafia, he did it. He did it. So what he does is, and I'll scroll down a little bit so you can see, this is a plague that he beset upon his people. And I'll give you a quick reading of it. He is in biology class. Yeah, he's in his late teens, so he's probably 17, 18, 19. And in his biology class, I'm in these last couple paragraphs here, is what I'm going to read. So, he emerged with something 117 microns long, airborne, of scorpion-like appearance that burrows into the flesh. Had any witness survived, they might have told us of the spine-chilling laugh that split the air as it smashed the vials containing certain death for Zarnia and her fabulous children. The laugh wafted upward on the wind, and many a victim would swear that, even as they felt the excruciating needle burns as millions of tiny things dug into their bodies, the echo of that unholy laugh frightened them even more. Had any witness survived. Now on his balcony, Lobo, the Lord of Death, raised his glass in one final toast. Electricity crackled up his spine. Complex chemical reactions in his brain led to a state of mystical euphoria. Fleetingly, he remembered Darlene Zand, his first love. She of the soft curves and warm, sweet breath. White fire coursed through his blood. A low moan erupted from his gut, tearing itself free, setting every bone in his body a quiver. Killing a planet was like Darlene Zand, only several billion times better. Ugh. So from that point, he becomes a bounty hunter. And the funniest part of this one for me, as far as I've read, is he did all of that. He did all of that. Became a bounty hunter. And then gets set out on a mission to save his 4th grade teacher. She survived. Of course, the teacher that he hated the most survives the aftermath of the plague he set on Zarnia. Incredulous. So, that's what I've been reading. One that I am about to read, or one that I've been reading to my daughters, is Silver Surfer and the Enslavers, and it is a bit dicey to read to my kids, so I skip over certain parts. I glance past certain pictures because, yeah, I forget how sexualized these comics are sometimes. And boy, the stuff that Shalabal and the other chick is wearing in the comic is they're very scantily clad, for lack of a better term. And yeah, so that's what I've been reading. And let me update you on what I'm going to be doing. These posts will stay frequent, or I will try to keep them frequent. But you know how it is when you work and you're trying to do this at the same time. It is draining. It really is. So, all that being said, go ahead and comment what you liked or disliked about this here live stream. You can go ahead and follow me on my social media. I'll probably find a better way to put them up on the screen. So I only have 45 subscribers. So those of you on my TikTok and my Instagram and my Facebook, scurry on over to YouTube. Get your boy paid. All right? I want to quit my job. Even though I like my job, I want to do what I want to do. So go ahead and scurry on over there. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Chef Boy He's Cute. You can go ahead and search that hashtag. I am the only face that will pop up. I know. So original. If you want to follow me on YouTube, go to Man Cave Media ENT at Man Cave Media ENT. And on Facebook, go ahead and look for Man Cave Media. On my Twitch, which is where I do the live streams, I am currently streaming It Takes Two, One Man, not One Man Sky. Sorry, that's what I call my stream. I call it This Man's Sky. So, streaming No Man's Sky, It Takes Two, and of course Marvel Rivals. And I'm trying not to rage. If you saw the last time that I live streamed Marvel Rivals, I did kind of crash out. But that's because bro quit 3 minutes into the match. Grow up, people. I'm going to talk about your mama. I'm not going to talk about how good or bad you are at this game. Nope, because I could suck at the game. I don't know your rank. This was on quit. Yeah, I don't know what your rank is. I don't care what your rank is. I'm not going to talk about the game. I'm going to talk about your mama. You may be good at this. You may got skills on this game, but you can't roast like me. Cut it out. And what was the other one? Yeah. So I will most likely be live streaming later today. If you'd like to catch that, go ahead and follow me on Twitch at UncleBadHands.tv. This has been Chef Boy He's Cute signing off. Peace.